I left my pen in the car. Only had one. That's fine.
I think you have to turn on your mic.
Mine's on. Do you want
Yeah,
his
his is on. Red means it's on.
Do you want his off? Or?
No, I think he's gonna be here. He didn't tell me he wasn't gonna be here.
Okay. Yeah, you can start, I guess. Oh.
Okay. There he is.
Oh, here he is. Okay. Just hang on.
Stop that. Too early.
Good evening. Hello, hello.
Hello, Ms. Stewart.
The Plymouth Township Planning Commission meeting will come to order at 11:31
No, 6:30.
or 6:31. A little bit. That's what time we're gonna end.
That's what you think.
Well, I was thinking closer to 10:30. Okay, 6:31. Secretary, please call roll.
All right, Dennis Sobolski.
Here.
Tim Boyd.
Here.
Bob Dorshevitz.
Here.
Stuart Pop. Here. Dan Callahan.
Here.
Bill Aikes.
Here.
David Ladovich.
Here.
It's a full house.
Thank you. And do we have a motion to approve the agenda as submitted?
Mr. Chair, I move we approve the agenda as submitted.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Boyd and supported by Commissioner Pop to approve the agenda as submitted. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Is there anyone here that wishes to speak to a non-agenda item? Okay. Application 2567, 5 Mile Road, the Al Car Wash Special Land Use. And the planner, please read your report.
Thank you, Chairman Sobolski. Good evening, Commissioners. Liz Hart with McKenna. This is a special land use request for an auto wash facility in the industrial district. It's on a vacant lot off of 5 Mile Road. It's just west of the water tower property and is east of the new Meyer site. So a car wash within is not an outright permitted use in the industrial district. It does require a special land use. That is why they're here tonight. We based our review off of the 6 standards within section 2.7 of the zoning ordinance, referring to considerations for evaluating the special land use. Criteria 1 has 4 considerations within it, mainly referring to the use of the location and size and character of the property. So number 1A, the intensity and scale of the use in comparison to the surrounding uses and condition. So the property, again, zoned industrial, in the industrial district. The properties to the north, to the east, south, and west are also in the industrial district. The properties to the north past 5 Mile Road are in Northville Township and are zoned public recreation and open space and residential. And the future land use map for the properties within Plymouth are classified as light industrial. And based on the surrounding properties within Plymouth Township, we do find that the project intensity and scale are generally fitting. Again, the site abuts industrial zone properties to the east, south, and west, and the site is of a similar use to the incoming adjacent Meyer store and gas station. Consideration 1B, consistency with the master plan. Again, the site is designated as light industrial, and the proposed commercial use is within the scope of the light industrial and light industrial future land use designation. And the surrounding uses of similar service type have been permitted nearby, like the Home Depot, Bank of America, Taco Bell, and Panera Bread. These are all just east of the site. And also the project has the potential to serve as a buffer between the residential district to the north in Northville Township and to the land south of the parcel that is zoned industrial. Consideration 1C, the impact of the use of natural features on the site. Currently, the site's vacant, and much of their surrounding area is also vacant. There is a significant amount of natural vegetation to the south of the property, and then across the road in 5 Mile in Northfields Park, there is a small water pond, or small body of water. And we do see that these areas are particularly vulnerable to runoff, especially with the proposed use using so much water and how imperviously paved the surface is for the use. The applicant does plan to use a modern water reclamation system with settling tanks, oil water separators, and a reverse osmosis system to contain and reuse a majority of water for the wash. They also plan to use environmentally friendly biodegradable soaps. So as submitted, the plan does reflect multiple stormwater catch basins where stormwater runoff will be detained prior to leaving the site. The proposed landscaping plan, now I know your report says it does appear to satisfy the ordinance. That is supposed to say does not. They have submitted a site plan application where there is additional review of this, and those do have conditions to help it meet the ordinance. And also, the applicant will need to submit a more detailed tree survey. But overall, the proposed use is not expected to significantly impact the site's natural features or the surrounding area, as long as appropriate landscaping and buffering are maintained and implemented, and as well as their water management practices and the implementation of the biodegradable soap are used. Consideration 1D, the intent of the zoning district is met. Again, this is in the industrial zoning district. And while it's not an industrial use, it is a service-like use, and the subject property is surrounded by similar commercial uses, as I noted before. So we do find the site is appropriately located to protect surrounding uses from potential nuisances associated with car washes. However, the site does need to comply with the industrial district standards, which does require each use to conduct wholly within an enclosed building. The site plan does show some vacuuming spaces on the outside. Those would need to be enclosed within the building as a condition. Criteria 2 relates to the public health and safety and welfare of the public based on the use. Its location, again, is within the industrial area, and the preliminary site plan information provided. The applicant appears to meet the intent of this criteria. The site is largely contained, which serves to protect nearby uses, and the facility complies with setback requirements and is appropriate located on the site in proximity to similar uses. However, as noted above, the unenclosed vacuuming stations they're on the south, but they do need to be in compliance with the industrial district. And the fire department and engineering reviews will be required as part of the site plan. Criteria 3, will the use be adequately served by public services and not adversely affect public services to the existing land uses in the area? Again, the site's surrounded by commercial developments which are served by existing utilities, and the applicant intends to tap into these existing utilities to serve the site. And the applicant has stated that a significant amount of the water required for operation will be reused and should have a minimal impact on public services. Criteria 4 is in regards to vehicular circulation and traffic impact. Access to the site is contained to the internal road Meyer Drive. There is no proposed direct access to the site from 5 Mile, which does reduce the curb cuts and limits turning conflicts on 5 Mile. And for the site plan, a site impact or a traffic impact analysis has been requested by the engineering department. The site does contain 29 stacking spaces, which does comply with with the car wash specific use standards, and it's not expected to generate overflow onto Meyer Drive. Criteria 5 is in regards to the proposed use will not be hazardous to the site and to the surrounding areas. It's not anticipated that this use will interfere with normal traffic or be hazardous to the surrounding areas. So we do find this criteria to be met. And criteria 6 is in regards to the site development standards. And we reviewed those under the site plan application, which is on the agenda later. But in terms of specific use standards for car washes, the first one, be consistent with the purpose of this article, and a car wash can be classified as a service use, as it is a commercial facility providing a service which supports the user base in this area as well as the industrial district. The second use standard, not impair the present or potential use of adjacent properties. Again, the site's adjacent to the future Meyer store, which provides access to an internal access drive. We do not find that the shape or size of the parcel would hinder future development of the surrounding vacant areas. And the proposed landscape and berming, which would need to be finalized in the site plan review, appears to be sufficient. And additionally, the proposed development is not expected to impair with permitted industrial uses and future development. Pending any additional information during the public hearing, we do recommend the Planning Commission approve the special land use application, PC number 2567, a drive-through car wash facility on a vacant parcel in 5 Mile Road, with the following conditions. Approval of a site plan which addresses all planning, fire, and engineering requirements. And number 2, the enclosure of all vacuuming stations so that all activity occurs indoors. That's my presentation. I'm happy to take any questions, and the applicant is here as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hart. The applicant is here. You have a presentation?
Just sign in here. Do you want like company and address?
Just the company name and then if you can give your guys' names.
Of course.
Whoever's gonna speak.
Of course. Is this on?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Good evening, members of the Planning Commission. My name is Stephen Barrett. I'm with Allrig USA and El Car Wash, 3200 Telegraph Road, Bingham Farms, Michigan. Grateful to be back up in front of you guys again today, as we previously were back in April. First, I want to say that Gabe Shookman and Shannon Price could not be here tonight. They both say hello and thank you guys for the time today. I want to introduce the team that I have with me today. I have Mitchell Harvey with Stonefield Engineering, and I have Jeff Klatt with Krieger Klatt Architects, as well as Rob Spiak directly with El Car Wash as well. Today we've brought some boards with site plans and material boards, and we're happy to talk through and answer any questions that you guys have. With that, I'm going to turn over to Mitch Harvey to go into more detail about our plans. Thank you.
Good evening, Mitchell Harvey with Stonefield Engineering. I know this is specific to the special land use, but I do got to talk a little bit about the site plan just to kind of paint the picture for you. So as mentioned, this is the existing site just to the east of that future Meyer gas station. It's on 1.46 acres. And one thing about the property is it's fairly unique in the fact that it is less than 150 feet wide, but is over 350 feet deep to get to that 1.46 acre size. So really it's a narrow and longer lot, which is naturally conducive to a car wash use there, where you have that longer tunnel, which is a little bit narrower compared to your typical building. So the proposed site plan will include an El Car Wash over here, and then we'll have the fully enclosed vacuum spaces kind of more central to the site. Access to the site, which is not shown, is going to be through this Meyer Ring Road that actually comes in through here, goes around here. I have another site plan that I can bring up and if there's any questions in that regard. But there will not be any new curb cut onto 5 Mile. I want to make that clear. General traffic flow through the site will be in a counterclockwise direction with stacking along the south and east side of the property, providing a total of 29 stacking spaces fully within that designated stacking lane. And as you know, majority of that stacking lane is going to be paved with heated concrete to kind of limit any ice and snow buildup. Interior of the site, we have those 21 vacuum spaces that are going to be fully enclosed. With the submitted plan, I understand that the 11 spaces to the south down here have to either be fully enclosed or removed or used for employee spaces. We're willing to abide by that, and we'll either remove those vacuums or come up with some solution there to enclose them. Just briefly on the lighting, all the lights are going to be fully downlit LED fixtures, dark sky compliant. And the landscaping plan is going to be fairly robust with 25 trees and various shrubs and ground covers throughout the site. We'll also add those additional trees as required within the site plan review, and we're willing to commit to that as well. Utilities, El Car Wash uses a state-of-the-art water reclamation system to limit the impact on municipal water and sanitary. The building will be fitted with a 3-stage oil water separator, or 3-stage settling tank, which goes to an oil water separator and then through a reverse osmosis system to allow for 90% of the water reuse from wash to wash. As mentioned in the staff report, all soaps are environmentally friendly and biodegradable. And really some of the modern wash equipment that El Car Wash uses significantly less soaps than these older model car washes where they're really relying a lot of that on that soap. The modern equipment is able to reduce that soap need. So with that, that brief highlight of the site plan, I would like to touch on the special land use criteria. In a nutshell, we're in full agreement with the McKenna review letter. I don't want to repeat everything they said, but I did just want to go through a few items. We feel the use is harmonious with the surrounding uses and zones. It's consistent with the Meijer store as well as the Meijer gas station directly adjacent to us. It's consistent with the master plan and continuation of the commercial corridor kind of along that south side of 5 Mile. No impact to any natural features with all those biodegradable soaps and stormwater management. Follows the intent of the industrial district. By providing a service, an auto service use to the community. No detriment to public health, safety, and welfare. Site is adequately served. We have utilities directly within 5 Mile, actually on our side of the site, so very, very readily available. And then site access, again, is going to be off that ring road that services Meijer, so there's going to be no new curb cuts onto 5 Mile, and then just the natural customer base of a car wash is relying significantly on pass-by trips. So people that are going to and from school, to and from work, you're not going out of your way to go get a car wash. You're not leaving your house to go get a car wash and adding trips. You're, doing that in part of your trip train as you're going from place to place. And that's really it from a special land use criteria. With that being said, we're happy to answer any questions. We thank you for your time, and that's all I got. Thank you.
I'm going to request our attorney to lead off with a question that he has, and I think the rest of us has as well.
Thank you.
Just for informational purposes, what impact will it, if the planning commission grants the special use in this case, what impact will that have on El Car Wash's existing application to install a similar car wash at 40700 Ann Arbor Road?
You want to speak to that, or you want me to?
Sure. There will, at this time, there's no impact to that. We intend to pursue both locations. We believe the sites are far enough apart from each other and kind of two separate markets of Plymouth Township and serve different areas of the township as well. So long story short, there's no impact at this time.
Do other commissioners have a question? Have one?
My only question was, on the enclosed vacuums, um, is that facility heated during the winter and then cooled during the summer?
I believe it's heated, I don't know if it's cold. Go ahead, Steve.
Yes, correct. We'll have a proper HVAC ventilation system, and everything will be, heated in the winter. We obviously don't want our, the cars produce exhaust, obviously, so we will adhere to Plymouth Township's ordinance from that standpoint, and yes, it will be heated and cooled in the
And specifically cooled in the summer with air conditioning?
correct, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions?
No.
Yeah. No, good, go on.
Yeah. I mean, I know you're gonna do both. This seems like a pretty logical site for that, right next to a Myers, gas station and on 5 Mile, and you're the first ones there, and I don't know. I think it's pretty good there.
Bill?
The question was on the interior from health and safety, right? Carbon monoxide poisoning, the venting, right? Are there any tubes you can put on exhaust pipes or hang from the ceiling like typical, car repair shops? Or is this just going to be, vented with something sucking stuff out?
My architect.
Good evening, Jeff Clyde with Krieger Clyde Architects. That's a great question. We will have an MEP engineer, mechanical, electrical, plumbing engineer that'll dive into that for us to make sure the building's compliant from a code standpoint. I don't have an exact answer for you, but it will be safe. It'll adhere to all the code and zoning regulations from a mechanical standpoint.
Okay, thank you. And I did want to echo Commissioner Pop's comments, right? This is a logical place, okay? There is not a high density of car washes within a 1 mile radius. There is another one, okay? And I did drive by the site today on the way back from Brayburn, but I didn't see a billboard or a signage. Maybe I just missed it, but I did see, the M1 DC, Gary Jones, that was sign that was there, but there was nothing, letting.
No posted?
No.
I just drove by there a couple of days ago, and now I don't remember seeing that sign. Has this been properly noticed?
Yes, we did a public hearing notice. They are not required to have a sign on site. That's for zoning, rezonings.
Okay,
Oh, just for rezoning?
Yeah,
Oh,
this is a
okay.
rezone.
fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. So can we consider this, we're not going to get into the details of the site plan at this stage, but is this expected to be a prototype for the facility that you're seeking on Ann Arbor Road?
When you say prototype, what do you mean? This,
Is it going to look similar to that? Are the mechanics, the interior vacuuming and
yeah, the
all the
interior
other things the
vacuuming,
same?
the equipment will be very similar, yes.
So I don't know what the timing of all of this is, but when we had our public hearings for the 1 on 5, there was always a big concern about noise, which I don't think is going to be as big of an issue with this particular site. But with the noise, we drove by there, once you have it built, that noise level, we can expect that to be the same as what it would be on Ann Arbor Road?
Yep, it'll still have those same, all the vac producers are going to be enclosed. You have the speed doors, and then you also have the dryers that have silencers on them. So it would have that same noise dampening equipment. Yeah.
Other questions from anyone? Okay, are we ready for a motion?
Yep.
Mr. Chair?
Oh, wait a minute, before we do that, to open and close the public hearing.
Correct,
Yeah, so is there a motion to open the public hearing at 6:54?
Mr. Chair, I move we open public hearing on the application at 6:54.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Boyd and supported by Commissioner Pop to open the public hearing. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Anyone here wishes to speak to this application? Okay. Sure. Yeah, because it's recorded and.
I'm Dale Bernhardt. We know that whole area was brownfield. My question is this a brownfield site that requires mediation of the soil? Was it bought from Meyer, or was it bought through the MITC process?
Well, I'll ask the question. Anyone else, or? Okay, is there a motion to close the public hearing at 6:55?
Mr. Chair, I move we close the public hearing at 6:55 PM.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Boyd and supported by Commissioner Pop to close the public hearing. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Can someone answer that question?
Yes, to your question, the site is considered a brownfield. It is a part of the MITC Act, I guess. And then we're purchasing the site from Redico, not Meyer directly. We have yet to do geotechnical investigation, but our preliminary environmental investigation has warranted this site as a brownfield.
Good question.
All of the MITC is one big brownfield.
Brownfield.
The MITC's, all the parcels are considered part of
Correct.
this one brownfield.
Not including the property west of Ridge,
Yeah,
even that is, oh,
So there's nothing anyone has to do to,
no,
okay? That makes it quicker.
yeah.
okay. Any other questions?
I would just want to say that my vote on this is specific to this site and has no bearing on the other application that you guys are pursuing right now.
Understood.
Is there a motion?
Mr. Chair, I move that we recommend the Planning Commission approve the special land use application number PC 2567 for a drive-through car wash facility at 5 Mile Road with the following conditions. 1, approval of a site plan which addresses all planning, fire, and engineering requirements. 2, the enclosure of all vacuuming stations so that all activity occurs indoors.
Their support?
Yes.
Second.
Who said it first?
I still think, all right.
Okay, moved by Commissioner Boyd.
I'll give you a chance.
Moved by Commissioner Boyd and supported by Commissioner Ikes to approve the special land use for application 2567. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Okay. Next is application 2569 at 15,000 Ridge Road, special land use for outdoor storage. And Ms. Hart, your report.
Thank you, Chairman Sabelski. Again, good evening, Commissioners. Liz Hart with McKenna. This is another special land use request in the industrial district for an additional 5 acres of outdoor storage. 10 acres of outdoor storage was previously approved for the site in 2023. Outdoor storage is an accessory to the office and industrial building, and the property is 103 acres in size and contains a site for an office and industrial building, and then also the 10 acres of outdoor storage. We based our review on section 2.7 of the zoning ordinance, which sets forth 6 standards for the planning commission to consider in evaluating a special land use. Criteria 1 has 4 considerations. 1A, the intensity and scale of the use in comparison to the surrounding uses and conditions. So again, the site currently contains almost a 300,000 square foot office and industrial building and 10 acres of outdoor storage. The site is zoned industrial, and then the surrounding sites are also zoned industrial, except for the south to the site, which is in the Technology and Research District. And the future land use map also classifies these properties as light industrial, except for the property to the south, which is Technology and Research and Development. We do find that the proposed outdoor storage is appropriate in terms of intensity and scale to the area. Again, adjacent properties are all zoned for industrial uses. except for the southern boundary are zoned for technology and research. And the adjacent parcels in the industrial are industrial or they're vacant and undeveloped. The previous approved site plan, number 2416, for the existing building specifies that the eastern portion of the parcel will remain undeveloped in some areas to preserve the existing wetlands. And this application does identify the protected wetlands, which show that it will not be encroached upon by this expansion. A new berm is also proposed along the eastern side of the storage area with landscape plantings to form a clear separation from the rest of the site. Due to the compatible adjacent uses, this expansion of outdoor storage is in harmony with the orderly development of all the surrounding sites. Criteria 1.b, consistency of the use with the master plan. Again, the site is designated as light industrial on the future land use map, and the proposed use is not in does not conflict with this designation. Consideration 1C, the impact of the use of natural features of the site. Again, the eastern portion of the site has not been developed, contains mature trees and other vegetation, and the site plan for the proposed outdoor storage lot includes a tree survey and clearly identifies the details of trees to be removed and provides adequate replacement trees. So per the tree survey, which is on their documents, or their page C3, and the landscaping plan LS1, this project will include the removal of 2 heritage trees with a total DBH of 49 inches and 12 regulated non-heritage trees, a total of 38 inches. At a replacement rate of 1:1 for heritage trees and 1:4 for regulated non-heritage trees, a total of 58.5 inches of DBH must be provided. And the landscaping plan shows 18 proposed trees with a total of DBH of 59.5, and we find that the replacement trees are sufficient. Consideration 1D, the intent of the zoning district. The purpose of the industrial district is to accommodate a mixture of industrial, research, wholesale, and service uses. The proposed outdoor storage will not be disruptive to the existing business park to the south of the proposed site or the surrounding undeveloped land. Criteria 2, in regards to public health, safety, and welfare, it's not anticipated that the proposed use It's anticipated that proposed use can be successfully constructed and operated to support the public health, safety, and welfare. It's not expected to be associated with any hazardous substances. And the fire department engineering review will be required during the site plan process. Criteria 3, in regards to being adequately served by public services and not impacting public services or facilities to the existing land uses in the area. The proposed use is a gravel lot used for outdoor storage of materials. There is no proposed usage of public services for the project. Criteria 4, in regards to vehicular circulation and traffic flow. The proposed outdoor storage is located behind the existing building and will not directly access public streets. No additional traffic or circulation concerns are anticipated with this expansion. Criteria 5, in regards to the use being hazardous, it's not anticipated that the outdoor storage will be hazardous to the site or in conflict with the existing traffic pattern. And then criteria 6, in regards to site development standards of Article 29, compliance with the following use standards of Section 19.2 must be met. So use standard A, outdoor storage of combustible materials shall be prohibited, and storage of such materials shall be limited to an enclosed building with 4-hour construction, etc. It's not anticipated that rags, waste paper, or combustible materials will be stored on site. Use standard B, outdoor storage is required to be enclosed with a 6 to 8 foot high obscuring wall or berm and set back from 20 feet from the street setback line. The plans do detail a 6 foot high screening berm, which complies with the setback requirements. And the plan also indicates that there's a 630 feet of existing chain link fence, which will be relocated from the eastern edge of the 10-acre lot to along the far edge of the new 5-acre lot. Use standard C, storage materials shall not be piled to a height of more than 8 feet. The height of the proposed stored materials has not been identified, so we are requesting a condition of the applicant must provide written documentation that materials will not be stored or piled to a height of more than 8 feet. Use standard D, a roadway shall be paved, graded, and maintained from the street to the rear of the property to permit free access to fire trucks at all times. A paved graded roadway connects the existing storage lot to Ridge Road, and the extended storage area will be accessed through the existing lot. So we find the standard to be met. Use standard E, waste materials shall be kept in a neatly stored container, screened from public view. No waste shall be piled on open ground. Sheet C1 states that no trash will be generated nor stored within the proposed outside storage lot. So we find this standard to be met as well. Staff is recommending that the Planning Commission grant special land use approval for the additional 5 acres of the outdoor storage at 15,000 Ridge Road, Planning Review number 2569, provided that the height of the stored materials does not exceed 8 feet. That is my presentation. I'm happy to take any questions for staff, and I do believe the applicant is here as well.
The applicant is here? Yep. Do you have a presentation?
No presentation.
Oh, well, could you come up anyway, because there's some questions.
Yeah, any questions?
Okay. Well, one question that I gleaned from the planner's report is the, restriction on the height for the storage. And I see one of the things you plan on storing there are transformers. So about how tall are the transformers?
The transformers are not over 8 feet tall. I don't have the exact height, but I know that they are not over 8 feet tall.
Okay, so, and you don't see any other material that would be back there that's more than 8 feet?
No, reading the review, it just is some electrical equipment that won't be over 8 feet.
Okay, and so Commissioner Ikes, do you have any questions on trees? Because there's a couple of heritage trees there that you might be concerned about.
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
Not yet. Thank you for asking.
All right. Anyone else have questions?
I have several.
Sure.
Do you own the entire 105-acre site there, or is the part behind to the east of your storage lot, is that still part of MITC or somebody else?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yeah, the entire site of 103 acres, do you own that entire site, or is the area east of your storage lot under somebody else's ownership?
I'm gonna have Joe Webb answer this one.
Okay.
Hello, Joseph Webb, Webb Engineering. I was the engineer of record. Haley Ridge Business Park LLC owns the entire 100 acres.
Okay. And I presume from the, well, let me ask the next question. I noticed that when you guys first came forward with your original storage site, you extended the road to the south along the entire, almost entire border of that
Yes.
site. This time, you're not proposing to further extend the road east.
Correct.
And as you probably know, and as the Planning Commission needs to know, the MITC material shows that road eventually connecting to an easement that comes off of Anchor Court on the business park to the south.
We do have a master plan in the works it's gone through many, many iterations, but we are eventually going to connect to the, I apologize, I forget the name of the court there.
It's
but we
Anchor
are-
Court, yeah.
We will be connecting to that.
So
Not
I
at
guess
this
I'm
time, but in
wondering,
the
why
future.
aren't you putting in the road at this point?
No, not at this time. If I answered, can you repeat your question? I apologize.
Yeah, why aren't you extending the road at this point?
The thought process is in the future, if there's more cars, we plan on having those go through to the south, and trucks will still stay on Ridge Road.
I guess I'm not completely clear. So what you said is your plan, your long-term plan does include extending that road?
Yes.
And connecting to the easement off of Anchor Court? Is that
Yes.
correct? Okay, so you're not going to do it now, but you will do it at some point?
When they build a building further to the east, yes, they will be.
Okay, and then I guess the other question, and this probably is a question to the commission as a whole, but does this formally rule out the use of that site for the Pell hydrogen plant that was proposed at some point?
My understanding is they're not coming.
So, okay, so this is not
not
preventing
the
some
same
other plan?
site.
I'm sorry, Bob?
That's not the Nell side, I don't think.
No, isn't it a little further north?
Yeah, it's further north.
Is it? Okay, all right. I stand corrected. Okay, that's all my questions.
Any other questions?
I did have a question.
Okay.
Right? As I look at the site, I just want to understand, right, between this 10-acre storage lot that's here and the 5 that will abut it, will you be able to drive internal between the two?
The grading meets right at the existing to the proposed.
Okay, so my second question is, to what Chairperson Sobolski had to say is, did I have a question? My answer is yeah, I do, right? We put a rectangle next to a rectangle. Was there any way, right, either rotating the rectangle, right, to save those heritage trees, or changing the shape to a box, right? I could not determine where those two heritage trees were. You can see there's a ton of trees there, right? And we're just getting into it the way that wall is, right? But I just want to know, is there any way possible to avoid the two heritage trees? That's the question.
And coupled to that question, do you know what kind of trees they are?
It should be noted on the
That's what I
sheet
thought. I
3.0.
couldn't find it, but actually, I did. Can you see it?
There's a tree survey on this.
I couldn't figure it out.
Let me get my reading glasses on, it's tough.
I know how that goes.
Okay, it's on page C 3.0 of the site plan. And the way I read, oh, okay, there they are.
The H column
Yeah, the
by
H
the
column.
32.
It looks like there's a straight edge to draw across here. Let's see. Looks like it might be a basswood and a bur oak, if I'm reading this correctly. Tree number, it's like 573 and 577. I couldn't find them on the survey either, for whatever.
So thank you for
It is a
looking
bur-
at it.
oh, the one is a bur oak?
I believe. It's kind of hard to
I
draw.
know, that's why.
Go for a line across there. Try to do this correctly. Need a straight edge.
I just couldn't figure out which two it was or where the two were located, which was the basis of my question. Do
Okay.
you gentlemen know?
If I can take a look.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know.
Yeah. Number 574 is a basswood.
Sorry, can you flip one
Yeah,
more sheet?
sure.
The number 577 is a burrow.
So 575, 577, they're right.
So 74 and 77 are in the middle, so it's possible if you took this and tilted it hit this way, you'd miss both of them.
That's above my pay grade.
Okay, I'm just trying to ask the question, is it possible, right?
So, did he answer the question? So
Look
did-
at that.
Do you have an answer to that, or? No, you don't?
I can't answer that question.
Okay, well, who can answer that question?
It would have to be ownership.
Okay, well.
He's with the general contractor, I'm the engineer, so.
Yeah, we're really concerned about the trees, and if this is easily modified, which I think it could be, I'd like to know why it couldn't be. If you
We do have a lot of grading issues out there. I don't know how familiar you are with the site, but there's 40-plus foot
Yes, I
of
know
fall
it
across.
goes, it drops.
And to put this right next to the existing outside storage lot is the most practical for the current tenant.
Well, is the tenant doing this lot, or is the owner of
The tenant is going through the owner to do the
to
lot.
do it? So, but the owner is paying for it? Do you know?
Indirectly, yes.
Okay. Well, perhaps there's a way to build an embankment wall around it or do something to try to preserve it?
I can take a look at the grades, but again, I know that there's quite a lot of grade fall through that area, existing grades.
Okay, well, we could turn this over to the Administrative Review Committee, and once you get your, answers formulated, and perhaps you can coordinate that with Laura, and she'll pass it on to the committee and see what can be done.
That makes all the sense in the world to me.
I think the commission would agree that we need to take a little closer look at it to see if there is a easy way to try to save them.
We can take a look at it, but again, I just want to make sure everyone's aware, there's
Yeah.
a lot of grade differential out there.
Well, again, maybe some of that could be done with a wall or,
There is, looking at the map, it does appear that both of these are kind of in the center of the, right in the center of the development. Right here and right here. if I'm-
And you need to make the land flat.
More or less, yeah.
Yeah.
So could we make a recommendation?
Is it right in the middle of the thing?
I want to look at the
Looks to me
elevation.
like that one and that one,
We're at the
right in the center.
What is that, 854? And then where's this other one? I'm looking at 854. I'm looking for the number up in here.
I think it's just doing this to go this way. Right? I was looking at the topographical map here.
Yeah.
It's 857 to 868, so this is higher ground
Yeah, right, and
than
it
what's over
drops.
here.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to push dirt from here to here.
Is that what your plan is to take? Are you going to take earth from the higher
High side,
portion,
more or less push it to the north.
push it to the other side? Well, how many feet drop is that? Can you read it?
From 875 here down to here, this is like 860, so it's 15 feet in that direction.
Yeah, well, I'm looking right in
Oh,
here.
that's like 865, so it's only a 10-foot drop from here to here. So you drop quite a bit more going
Yeah,
this way.
I don't know what would happen to the root structure, though. That's the thing.
Are you
But it-
piling 5 foot of dirt around it then, right?
Would it be appropriate to recommend approval with a request that the administration
Review committee.
review this
Yeah.
for a decision as to whether it's
Right.
practical or
If it's
not
practical.
If it's
Yeah.
practical, yeah.
I just want to note that that isn't a reasonable condition to add.
What'd you say?
That's a reasonable condition to add to
Okay.
the recommendation.
All right, other questions or concerns from anyone? Other than the one we just discussed, are we ready for a motion with the stipulation that that question be resolved by the Administrative Review Committee?
Laura, do you have a question?
What kind of tree was 574?
577 is a bur oak, and 574 is a basswood.
What kind of
Basswood.
basswood?
Yeah, BASSWOOD. Both trees show in good condition.
While we're talking about trees, pay you a compliment is that I thought the landscaping as it currently exists is very well done. I anticipate
I will let
that.
my landscape architect know that. Thank you.
I think once they mature a little bit more, it helps break up the mass of that building. So I think it fits in well with that site. So
Just keep after them, because as
Right.
we know, some of them die, and
we just, as they currently stand, so
Yes.
that's a key.
yeah, and we know
key
that you
there.
already did one round of refreshing, so just
Yeah.
please keep an eye on it.
Get the water in.
Yeah. Are we
Yep. I think so.
ready?
All right, I'll make a motion that we approve,
Public hearing.
What was the question?
Public hearing?
Oh,
Oh.
okay. Is there a motion to open the public hearing at 7:19?
I'll make the motion.
Moved by Commissioner Lattawick and supported by Commissioner Pop to open the public hearing at 7:19. Anyone here wishes to speak to this application?
I'm making the check mark right now.
I don't quite
It
understand.
was made by Ladwick and supported by Boyd.
No, me, Pop,
Not Boyd, I meant Pop, yeah.
with two Ps.
Peas. Well, I put that in the email, remember? Okay.
I understand this is going to be for storage. I don't quite understand what is going to be stored. I heard the word transformers, and I know that transformers in the past have had a lot of chemical issues for cancers like PCBs. I'd like to understand what exactly is being stored there.
It's electrical equipment, cabling. Just hold on a minute. And we'll ask that question, your question.
Okay.
It's in the thing.
It's in here, I gotta find it.
Do you want to answer that after I sit down?
Yeah, we'll answer
Okay,
that.
that's fine. The other thing is, last week I spoke briefly with a couple of commissioners about instituting a tree bond. Now that we have some heritage trees here, we would certainly like to protect them. I'm just wondering if this is a good place to start that tree bond.
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll look into it.
In that vein about the trees, I noticed that she stated, I'm sorry, I can't read your name from here.
Liz Hart.
Yes, she stated that this would be a reasonable ask. I think your mindset better be not that you get to ask. It's the difference between can I or may I. I think you can set boundaries like Dale just mentioned. And as I suggested before, there should be some mechanism, a bond, I'm not sure how that works, or a huge fine to put some teeth into it. Because like Bill said at a former meeting, if you're cutting down really treasured old trees, you're responsible for that. You should have had teeth in it. It's not you can ask, it's this is our township, you're in charge, do the right thing. That's my opinion. Thank you.
Yeah.
Do I need to sign this?
What's that? Anyone else? Okay, is there a motion to close the public hearing at 7:22?
I'll make a motion to close.
Okay,
Second.
moved by Commissioner Ladwick and supported by Commissioner Pop to close the public hearing at 7:22. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. I'm looking, I had it here before with all the, but is the applicant here? Can you talk about what, I just read it, now I can't find that piece of paper where you itemize what's going to be stored back
Yes,
there. And
the
then-
use,
Oh, here.
it's right here.
Oh, okay.
The use of the storage yard is to store electrical equipment, including but not limited to transformers, telephone poles, and utility cables.
Do you have any comment on leakage from the transformers or any other hazardous things that might be?
I do know that transformers no longer have PCB oils in them. They more or less use a mineral oil, which is, it's not as, it still has issues, but nothing like PCBs.
A follow-up question. Are you storing the same equipment here that you are in the?
It's the same equipment, just more or less
So
expanded.
we've already approved it in a prior, yep, okay.
Ms. Hart, do you know anything about a tree bond? Are we, is that's not part of our ordinance? But the penalties for taking the tree down, I know they're light. Bob, do you know what they might be? The penalties for taking down a tree?
I don't know.
No. I know there are penalties, but they're very light penalties. And that's something that would have to be addressed by the Board of Trustees. Yeah, well, we plan on putting something like that in the master plan, a recommendation that they look at that and beef it up. Okay. Are we all set up here?
I think so.
Okay, is there a motion?
All right, I make a motion that we approve PC number 2569, special land use for outdoor storage on 5 acres at 15,000 Ridge Road, provided the height of the store material does not exceed 8 feet. And it is, I don't know what the verb is.
Well,
Administrative-
administrative and preservation of the trees be reviewed by the Administrative Review Committee.
Okay,
All right?
574 and 577.
Yeah, tree, okay,
Okay.
tree.
those two
Yeah,
trees in the middle.
Two trees
Okay.
will be put in that motion, Laura, the 2 tree numbers, if you put it in the motion. Okay, is there support?
Support.
Moved by Commissioner Pop and supported by Commissioner Boyd to approve application 2569, special land use approval for 15,000 Ridge Road, subject to said conditions. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Okay.
Great.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Continued success.
The trees are counting on you.
We got the site plan review.
Okay. Application 2568, the Al Car Wash tentative site plan approval. And Ms. Hart, your report.
Thank you, Chairman Cebulski. Good evening, Commissioners. Liz Hart with McKenna. This is a tentative site plan request for a 16,420 square foot car wash facility located on a vacant lot, on a vacant 1.46 acre parcel lot off of 5 Mile Road next to the future Meyer store. The property is zoned industrial district where car washes are permitted by special land use, which you just approved. In reviewing the application, we reviewed, I think 11 different site requirements. The first one being site design, zoning, and use. Again, the property is zoned the industrial district and designated as light industrial in the master plan. The site, we do find that the site is appropriately sized and configured to accommodate this use. I will note that, just as the applicant said, the site is oddly shaped, which might not be great for an industrial type use development or office use. It is an appropriate site for this type of commercial use, and it also does have the commercial development around it as well that is similar. Site appearance and coordination. The site is located on 5 Mile Road with adequate setback and landscaping proposed on the front line to minimize visual and physical disruption. The facility's scale and location are not expected to generate barriers to development of the surrounding vacant properties. Approximately 35,785 square feet of the site is to be covered by impervious surface. That's about 56% of the site. In both the C2, which is the general commercial district, and the existing IND industrial district, do not have standards for the maximum amount of impervious surface coverage. However, if there is an opportunity to reduce the impervious surface of the site closer to 50%, which is what the C2, closer to 50% which is what the maximum lot coverage for the TAR and OR districts, that is recommended by staff. The building height is proposed to be 35 feet, which is the maximum. And it is compliant with the lot dimension summaries and building dimension summaries. I will note the site plan does show a flagpole, which does not meet the minimum front yard setback for flagpoles, which is 50 feet. Right now, it's at 38.4. Preservation of the site features. The plan does propose to remove 28 existing trees. A basic tree survey is shown on sheet C7, which identifies which trees will be removed. However, additional information on types of trees and their size and condition are not provided. These additional details must be submitted by the applicant and identify if any quality trees could potentially be saved by minor changes to the layout of the development. And as noted before, the impervious surface of 56%, the applicant does, the proposal does significantly increase the impervious surface of 56%, which we recommend the reduction of that if possible to 50%. And then the applicant does propose multiple storm catch basins where storm water runoff will be detained prior to leaving the site. Impact on public services. The development proposes to tap into existing nearby utilities to serve the site. The proposed development will utilize heated concrete for a portion of the proposed paved surface, settling tanks, and oil water separators. Again, the applicant proposes water management strategies and product specifications to preserve the environmental character of the surrounding land and mitigate some strain on public services. Public services, including emergency response, are not anticipated to be adversely affected by this development, and the Township Fire Marshal has approved the plans. Vehicular access and circulation. Access to the site is contained to the Meyer Drive, which has been planned for this area specifically. There is no proposed access to the site from 5 Mile. The site contains 29 stacking spaces, which complies with the ordinance and is not expected to generate overflow onto the Meyer Drive. And the site does have adequate internal circulation and driveway access to accommodate vehicles, including emergency and service vehicles, without creating new traffic impacts. However, the engineering department did request a traffic impact analysis, so that is required as a condition for the site plan. Pedestrian access and circulation. Right now, there is no pedestrian infrastructure proposed except for an internal path from the attendant booth to the car wash. Pedestrian infrastructure must be added to the revised site plan, which includes the continuation of the 8-foot pedestrian path along 5 Mile and a 5-foot sidewalk along the internal drive. Emergency access and vulnerability to hazards. Again, the Township Marshal has approved the plans and we refer to their letter. Landscaping, screening, and buffering. The proposed landscaping and maintenance plan do not satisfy the ordinance requirements for appropriate natural screening and buffering. Due to the site's frontage on both 5 Mile and Meyer Drive, additional frontage landscaping is necessary. Additionally, the size and location of planting islands must be clearly delineated on a revised site plan. So we are recommending that trees are along Meyer Drive to meet the tree frontage requirement, the street yard landscaping requirement. That's unknown right now because we don't know how long that frontage is. That's based on 1 tree for every 40 feet of frontage for the Meyer Drive. Parking and loading. Based on the submitted plans, the vacuum enclosure entrances and exits are sufficiently sized and arranged to accommodate the turning radii of large vehicles and trucks, and the 29 stacking spaces meet the requirements of section 24.5. However, car washes are required to have 1 parking space per employee. The applicant's narrative states that there will be 3 employees per site. However, there are no parking spaces on site, on the proposed site plan, so the applicant must meet the parking space requirements for 3 on-site employees. Additionally, the architectural and engineering plans have a discrepancy between the number of parking spaces represented. So we just want to make sure that is corrected on the updated plans. Building design and architecture. The primary building materials consist of split-face concrete masonry units, mortar, and brick. These meet the requirements of the minimum 75% of the building facade to consist of masonry products. However, they're not very decorative in nature. The building does not employ aluminum composite panels, which are permitted in the industrial district. The building is proposed to be white and is not consistent with the neutral colors of the other commercial establishments in the township. and the proposed bright colors and stripes to band the top of the building are minimal, but they also do stand out. So it's recommended that the Planning Commission discuss the facade materials and color palette, provide direction to the applicant prior to the submission of the final building design. Exterior lighting, a photometric plan was submitted and is currently under review. Additional comments will be provided in the final review for the site plan. Accessory uses in buildings in business and industrial districts. The proposed 9-foot by 6-foot attendant booth does not conflict with the requirements of the industrial district. However, architectural details are required for all proposed attendance booth and other accessory structures. Waste enclosures. The proposed waste enclosure on site is located at the southeast corner of the site and is proposed to be surrounded by 10 evergreen trees. Per requirements of the industrial district, waste materials must be stored neatly in containers and screened from public view, which we have a condition that details on the proposed enclosure materials must be submitted. And signage, there is a proposed monument sign on the plans located 20 feet from the setback along 5 Mile Road. The plan does suggest that the sign is under the maximum height requirement of 8 feet. However, no formal signage plan has been submitted, so additional signage plans are required for approval, including the signable area and design components. Because there are a large number of outstanding items that require adjustments to comply with the zoning ordinance, staff is recommending that the Planning Commission postpone application 2568, the L Car Wash site plan on 5 Mile Road, to allow for the submission of a revised site plan that addresses the underlying items in this report, including any outstanding engineering items. And this recommendation is also contingent on the acceptance of the special land use approval, which you guys did approve. And we did not receive any public comment for this. That is my presentation. I'm happy to take questions for staff. And again, the applicant is here.
Okay.
Thank you.
We have our engineering report.
Yeah, good evening. We have received the site plan submittal for a car wash project prepared by Stonefield Engineering and Design. The following are our observations. The Agusin Meyer development is currently under construction, and this project is proposed to connect to a Meyer project. Coordination with the township and Meyer will be required. The sanitary and shared driveway entrance by the Meyer development will be required to serve the car wash site. We also would like to see a project narrative describing the nature of activity, operational function, both on and off site, and hours of operation. For the water service, it will be provided from the existing 12-inch water main along the south side of 5 Mile Road. A domestic lead will be provided to serve the building. Sanitary service will be provided from the future 8-inch sanitary sewer along the south side of 5 Mile Road. A 6-inch lead will be provided to serve the building. The sanitary sewer is being built by the Meyer site. Stormwater will be collected by a single storm sewer collection system and discharged to an underground detention system on site. Review and approval will be required from Wayne County Departments of Public Services to confirm the proposed underground detention basin and pretreatment meet their current requirements and are acceptable as designed. There appears to be underground space available in the parking lot on site should the detention footprint be required to increase. During engineering review stage, the existing topography near the southeast corner of the site will need to be investigated to determine whether tank flushing runoff from the existing water tower requires mitigation as part of the El Car Wash site improvements. On the traffic, the development is capable of generating 78 total trips, 70% entering and 70% exiting, when estimating and utilizing the Institute of Transportation Engineers trip generation manual. Automatic car wash during the PM peak hour between 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. Well, the typical IT recommends a traffic impact assessment which focuses on the site access points. Spalding the Decker is recommending a traffic impact study, including the East Meyer Drive and 5 Mile Road intersection, and East Meyer Drive and the driveway entrance to the proposed development. With the Meyer development still under construction, data from the Meyer TIS data, dated June 2023, should be used for the traffic impact study. Given the comments noted in our report, we're recommending tentative site plan approval with items to be addressed before final site plan approval. Thank you, and happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you. And we've received the report from the Township Fire Department. They have no deficiencies were found from a public safety perspective. And the applicant is here, ready to address any of these concerns.
Again, Mitch Harvey with Stonefield Engineering. I don't have anything to add from a site layout and design standpoint. I think we're agreeable with both review letters. They seem reasonable. I do want to, just to touch on the facade, I would like to call up Mr. Jeff Klatt with Krieger Klatt Architects, kind of talk through the building, explain some of the materials and that kind of thing. And then after that, just happy to answer any site plan related questions.
Can you bring this up a little closer, because it's hard for us at this end to see it? And then we can
sorry
turn
about
it
that.
around for the public to see.
Put them in the middle. That's
Yeah,
fine.
this is,
We do have some other images here we can show
oh,
you.
good.
Oh, thanks.
And these colors are representative of what you're planning on constructing at this point?
Yes, our current goals. So again, thank you for your time. I'm Jeff Klatt with Krieger Klatt Architects, as Mitch mentioned. And as you may be aware, El Car Wash owns and operates numerous facilities across Florida, now Michigan and Illinois as well. And the dominant material in the majority of their buildings is really a very crisp white stucco material, pretty common in Florida and pretty common to their brand too. So after a quick review of the ordinance, we found out that there's going to be some deviations required here, as masonry is the dominant material and also a covering for the vacuum area as well too. So instead of looking at that as a negative, our team really embraced it. So I think it led to a better building, a more beautiful building, and one that's more consistent with our future neighbors and our current neighbors too. So I can go up there and point to it, if that helps.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's also a couple of metrics that were pointed out in the staff report. Those relate to texture, scale, mass, proportion, materials, and color. And all those are key objectives in the zoning ordinance. And we feel that we comply with all those metrics too. When it comes to mass and proportion, that's pretty evident in the floor plan. If I can step up here.
Yeah.
I don't have the microphone. If I can step up here.
Yeah.
It's pretty evident. When we look at this overhead area, from a mass standpoint, our goal was to break up the massing of the building. It helped to reduce the visual footprint. As you can see, this is the primary tunnel, the car wash tunnel, and this is our equipment area, office area, and this area right here would be the enclosed vacuum piece, clad in glass. So what we're doing is we're breaking up the bulk of the building by pushing that area back. From a scale standpoint, we're adding a little bit of verticality to the building with the two towers, which is really a staple of their branding, but it's in a tasteful way, and it's also a pretty minimal component of the overall volume. So again, from that standpoint, it reflects the ordinance objectives, in my opinion. When it comes to some of the other objectives that I mentioned, scale, texture, materials, and colors, that's really with the material palette that we're proposing. So when it comes to scale, we're looking at, as you can see next to Mitch right there, we have brick, which is a very smaller scale component. And then if you compare that against the masonry, the split face masonry, that's a little bit larger. So those two play together, the smaller texture, the larger texture. The brick has a very smooth finish to it. The masonry is more of a split face texture. So we're kind of playing against those two, a smooth and a split face. So I think it adds a lot of visual interest to the building and a lot of depth too. As you can see on these renderings here too, maybe this one might be better. We're also breaking up the overall length of the building too. So you can see the dominant color is the white brick. And then we have a nice rhythm along the building of the darker gray color. So it helps to break that up, breaks up the length of the building. Then there's key accents to like some of the aluminum or some of the metal around the building. As you can see at the very top, and also this piece here. Simple accents in the building. When it comes to the vacuum area, there's a requirement to cover those. So instead of looking at that as a simple, low-slung, inexpensive structure that's dark and dreary, we like to do something beautiful. So it's really a full glass enclosure. It brings a lot of daylight into the space, makes it beautiful for our guests and the community that'll use that space. So lets views in, views out, and it's a nice design element too. But again, it has some height, but it's stepped back from the main road to kind of break up that visual massing. Then the last component is really just the accent striping, and that kind of helps to, it's like belt and suspenders around the building. It helps to tie those two masses together, and it's part of the corporate branding. But again, it's in a very small sense. So that's really it. So if you have any questions about the materials we're proposing, again, all high-end, timeless products. It's all brick and masonry for the most part, with some simple metal accents. And we feel it'll complement, again, the Meyer gas station and some of the other buildings that have been built around town on 5 Mile there. Very simplistic, modern forms, clean lines. I think it'd be a beautiful addition to the streetscape.
And you mentioned speckle, but that's just plain white brick, or?
I can bring it up here too, and I also have the colors of the. That's the beauty of brick today. There's so many different varieties versus just the reds and browns.
Yeah.
And this does have a warm feel to it. This is more of a glazed product, so it's very smooth.
It's just, white, yep.
And we can also look at the mortar colors too. We can try
Yep.
to match these. This is shown as a plain mortar. Sorry,
Yep,
I can.
that's fine.
And this is a split face material, so you see it has more of a rockier texture to it.
Yep.
And it's bigger. Those are more 8-inch high, where these are, every 3 equals 8 inches. So 3 of these would equal one of those blocks. So again, it's a nice plain texture, color.
The blocks are more on the bottom, right?
Correct, yeah, I should have explained that. The block would be along the bottom of the
Yeah.
building right here.
Yep.
So it's a firmer, heavier foundation for the
Yep,
building
yep.
to support it. So I can put these.
Brick is a very smooth, not much texture to it.
Correct.
Is that what you were referring to in your planner's report, or?
Yeah, what isn't complying? The color or something?
The color.
The color?
The staff report just said it's not matching what's existing, the neutral colors of the area. It's white, if you consider that to not be neutral.
Do you know what colors are going to be on the Meyer building?
I do not.
I do recall seeing a picture of one of your other car washes.
Is white an element of the branding?
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, the majority of the buildings are very white stucco texture, very smooth. So we're trying to honor that, but in a way that's compliant, we feel is compliant with the spirit of the ordinance and the local context. So it plays off the white. This is a little bit warmer though in color. But again, the gray helps to provide a little bit of accent, a little bit of punch along the walls too.
Well, on the local look of it, most of your facilities are in Florida, and we're in the northern climate here. I'm not real sure about the white. We have always tried to get to more neutral tones, earth tones.
You mean beige, like a light beige?
Earth tones.
I
Beiges, browns,
saw a
tans,
picture of one of your other facilities, and when you were doing your other application, and it did strike me that the white was, it wasn't called out to me in advance. I just looked at the picture and said, boy, that white is really bright. So I'm kind of thinking that the planner is raising an issue. It's a really big building and it's really white, and you're gonna see it coming down 5 Mile Road, and, you may be surprised, so.
But white's only part of it, right, or no?
Well, it's actually quite a bit of it.
Yeah, it's the primary color.
Yeah. Along the side, you've got those really nice inset areas, and I think that's great, but as you're driving down 5 Mile Road, you're gonna be seeing an image more like this one on the right, and it is, you're gonna see a lot of white.
Are you lighting those towers up, or the building itself?
There'll be some subtle accent lighting. Intent is not to be a beacon. It's not a
Yeah, I'm thinking about, it looks like an overhead on that tower that we see on this image. So is there going to be lighting, is there going to be lighting under
There
there?
might be some lighting, like can lights up in the canopy, but no, it's not intended to be a beacon at night, nothing like that.
Personally, I'm not crazy about the pink and the magenta either, but that is part of your corporate branding, and I understand why you would want to hold that. I just, from an architectural point of view, I'd like to know, are there any other whites that you could come up with, which aren't just quite as brilliant white, or maybe toned down just a tad along the lines of what the planner said. So from my perspective, that's something I'd like to ask you guys to look at.
Yeah, I think our team would be more than happy to explore options for the break.
But white goes along with clean. I get why they want white. But yeah, it sticks out.
Yeah, I do too, but, you know, I mean, I think we have to listen to what the planning department is saying and at least investigate if they're.
Options.
I mean, I'm big on corporate branding, so I understand why you want to do that, but there's degrees of, you know, tweaking that might be able to. I mean, you might want to bring in some photos of some of your other actual facilities that we could, color photos that we could look at. Maybe other people wouldn't have that, maybe the rest of you guys wouldn't have that reaction I did when I saw them.
Can we pull them up now on the computer?
Yes,
No?
bring them up.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
I mean, if we're taking the recommendation that we table this for the moment, that's something we should ask for when we do the next review.
We don't have any, I visited the Warren facility, which recently opened on Warren Street today. And same thing, it's adjacent to a Meyer facility, and that's an outbuilding Meyer lot. And it fits in well, in my opinion, there. And that one, again, is more of the very pure white stucco building. And I went there for the sole purpose of taking pictures of the vacuum canopies, as well as the attendant booth. And we do have that information we can share with you. I know that was a request. So if you'd like, I can pass that out. It's in the handout.
And what other states are you in? I know Florida is your primary home.
In Michigan, right now, I believe we're looking at 20-plus locations. We have 4 that are in operation, 4 under construction, and then 14 more that I believe are in the planning and design phase. In Illinois, we're also looking at numerous locations as well, too.
Do they all look like this?
They all vary to some degree, either based on township requirements, ordinance requirements, but I think it's safe to say the majority are stucco material. The majority are in Florida. If I could pass this along, this is just the attendant booth and the vacuum canopies. I know we were short on our application with that information, so I wanted to share that with you to make sure that you understand what we're proposing here.
Yeah, if you could re-examine the color scheme, it'd be interesting to see some of your other facilities, and particularly that may not have that, I would call them optic white.
We could use that same material palette in Sterling Heights. We can take photographs of that building and share it.
It was one of your 2 facilities that I saw the picture of. I think it was one in Warren, but I'm not sure.
Are these these happen to be on your website, the pictures of the facilities?
If I may.
Yeah.
Stephen Barrett, Ulrich, El Car Wash. Yes, there's photos of the facilities on the website, and we can happily provide them as well. And to additionally mention regarding the bright white color, we've looked at other options, and as Jeff mentioned, our Sterling Heights location at the 16 Mile and DeQuinder on the pad of the Lowe's and Target. We are opening up there in soon to be 2 weeks. So the building is fully up, and that has more of I want to say a gray tone to it. So we are not, I can't commit to anything at the moment, but we're not opposed to relooking at the colors at this location and hear the concerns regarding the bright white. It's not something that we've shied away from previously. We're open to changing.
Okay, good to hear. Thank you. And will you be providing us a tree inventory?
Pardon?
Will you be providing us a tree inventory?
Oh, sorry, Mitch, if you want to address that.
Yep. We'll be
Tree
providing
survey.
a detailed tree inventory.
Okay. And do you think you could decrease that impervious surfaces by 6% to get it down to 50? I don't know what, that might impact what you're doing with the vacuums, what decision you finally make with that.
Yeah, 6% might be a little tough to get that all the way down to 50, but we can definitely dial it back, and we'll do everything we can to get it as
I
close to
was
50.
wondering with the elimination of the outside vacuums, maybe that area could be.
Yeah,
made
so we'll
impervious.
eliminate some of those. Some of them are going to be needed for those employee
Employee
spaces,
sites,
and then
understand.
we'll see where we settle. It might be a little bit above 50, but we'll definitely dial it back.
Okay.
And you know the flagpole is not compliant?
Yeah, we'll pull it back.
Okay.
Presuming that we vote to postpone the application, how much longer would you need to provide us with the information that's called out in the planner's report?
I think the key thing will be the traffic impact study as to whether we need that to move on here. I know that it was a condition of the engineering review as well as an item that was brought up in the planning. I think we can utilize Meyer's design from their traffic impact study and use their information, and then we'll have to model it against what the car wash is contributing. Besides that, everything should be relatively quick. I think taking another look at these elevations, be pretty quick to settle on a color, and all the other stuff, including the tree survey, should be a month-ish. So I'm hopefully that a traffic impact study can follow that timeline.
Do you have any estimate of what that would be? Because typically when we postpone something, we add a time period.
Give us a month to get everything together, so then 2 months from now, Planning Commission would be ideal, I assume. Is that good with you, Stephen?
We can do up to 3 months and whenever.
Yeah, that would give
gives
us
you
enough
another
time, yeah.
month.
I think we'll be ahead of that, but that would give us plenty of time. Thank you.
And you know the traffic study comment in here?
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
All right.
So
And
the
you don't
white
have a
color,
problem, and you have no problem with the sidewalk?
No.
Okay,
That's fine.
go ahead.
this white color is probably due to the fact you're headquartered in Miami where it's hot, and everyone in Florida likes to use white roofs, white everything, right? To reflect, not absorb, to reduce the electrical draw. We don't have this unload here, okay? Nevertheless, going to an off-white or whatever white, right, gets us to something that's more consistent with the township, right? And the look is absolutely the right call. So the deferral delay is great. 2 months, I think, is good too. Good catch.
And you'll be working on the signage?
Yes.
Okay. All right, any other questions from anybody? Bless you.
This, I'm going back in my mind on the clock timing, okay? Because the one thing that's kind of inside that's got me a little bit concerned here is when Stephen mentioned the fact, to answer our very good attorney's question earlier about 45 minutes ago, right? That had a 6-month deferral maximum, okay? We were in here in March, right? So the clock will run out in less than 30 days.
Yeah, it's in the planner's report.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Yeah.
you saw that.
So I'd want to get that one put to bed and back in here so we can, focus on this 2 months from now. But so I like the fact that if it's coming back in or not, maybe it just times out. I don't know procedurally if that's going to time out in 6 months where it just goes away by itself, regardless of what Stephen told us of, senior management wanting to have 2 in the township.
So I think we agreed that the 3-month postponement would be the best, just to cover any last-minute details, so that would put it after the rediscussion.
The first
of the other
one.
Yeah. The other
It
one.
was very contentious.
Just look here, just give me a moment. I can see it in this report.
I didn't see the ruling in there, I read it somewhere.
I'm just now gotta find it.
If I may. The date is September 26th, is my understanding, and we've reached out to Laura Ha regarding an extension to that postponement as well, while we work with Kevin, Mr. Bennett, on the vacation of the consent judgment.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I don't see it
Yeah.
either.
It's in there.
Somewhere.
Yeah,
I know I've read
because
it.
I
It's
read
hard
it
to
when I
find.
read-
Wow, that's weird.
Yeah, this is it right here. It's the last one on the first
On the
page.
first page,
Planning
yeah.
Commission considered the application on April 16th and tabled the project for up to 6 months, but you already, till September 26th, but you said you're going to ask for an extension on that?
Correct, yes. We're evaluating the options with Laura.
Oh, okay, all right, good. And then one other when you do your tree survey, you've heard the discussion, we're really sensitive to trees, particularly heritage trees, so if you find one in the way, see if you can work around it.
We'll definitely try our
Okay,
best.
thanks.
Hopefully, they're all invasives and we just take them all out. We'll see.
Okay. All right.
Would I be remiss in stating with the timing of this proposal, 3 months, and a potential extension of the first one that's on the bottom of page 1, right? I don't want to grant one and then still have something hanging over our heads, right? I would rather get this clean, okay, with that first site, right, decided, and then come back to this one.
Well,
Is that
why
not
don't
possible?
we, well, I'll raise it up with Laura,
Okay.
see what your concerns are. I think others may have that same concern. Do others have that same concern?
Aren't these two separate things, though?
They're two separate things. Can we do that, Kevin?
Two separate applications, correct.
So we shouldn't try to join them together in any way and approve one without the other, or?
That would be a discretionary consideration, the scheduling. You could do it either way. Obviously, the other application is a little more involved from a legal standpoint.
My take is these are two separate applications.
Yeah,
We should-
these are two separate
These are separate,
applications.
yeah.
Fair enough. It's just,
I'm ready to make a motion.
we got a good legal guidance here, and
Okay.
you guys are all good with it.
It was
I'm
worth
good with it too.
exploring. Okay, we're ready for a motion?
Okay, I move that based on the number of outstanding items that require adjustments to comply with the township zoning ordinance, as well as the issues we raised tonight, recommend that we postpone application number 2568 L Car Wash Site Plan on 5 Mile Road for 3 months, up to 3 months, to allow for submission of a revised site plan that addresses the underlying items in this report, including any outstanding engineering items.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Boyd and supported by Commissioner Pop to postpone application 2568. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you.
Look forward to seeing you back.
Thank you.
Thank you for all the excellent feedback.
Sure. Okay. We have our monthly planning report. Are there any questions on the report? Bill, did you have anything on the thing?
No.
Dave?
I just,
No,
go to my neighbor.
Oh, okay.
What's going on with Northville?
Okay.
Seraphin?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my question too.
Do you happen to know what's happening with Seraphin there on Northville Road by M14?
I haven't been privy to an update as of recently. I do know they have until, I think it says September 26th to
Yeah,
come
I
in
saw that in
compliance
the
and-
report.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dave, is that group home, they're continuing to work? No.
Slow, but it's also,
No,
it's also indoors right now, so you don't see a lot that's going on, I think.
Oh, okay.
What group home, what are you talking about?
There's right, two doors down from me on Northville Road. The couple that came in here because we
Oh, yeah.
did the R1, or R2 to R1.
Yeah.
And they had a zoning opportunity with the garage. They told us at that point that, and including the neighbors, which I happen to be one, that they were making it their family home, and it turns out that it's a part of a larger scope than just them. They have several of these around. And it's a home that's can take up for ordinance up to 6 adults.
Yeah. Wow.
They never mentioned that, right?
No,
No,
they
we did
didn't.
not.
They were gonna raise their.
Their immediate neighbor's not a happy camper. We're not either, but,
Wow.
yeah.
And you said that they ended up cutting down a lot more trees.
Oh, I don't have so.
It happens.
Okay. All right.
All right, any other questions or comments on the report? All right, and then the master plan discussion, did Laura leave you any comments to,
I just asked her if she wanted me to do anything.
Pardon?
I just asked her if she wanted me to say anything
Yeah.
about it, but I haven't
oh, okay.
gotten a response, and I'm
Well,
not,
yeah, well, we talked, these are the sites that we had, the steering committee had looked, and one of the other things we have to decide on if we're gonna, when is our next work session meeting? So the thought was that you can drive around the township and look at these sites, think about the sites, and then we can discuss in detail your reaction, what you feel about it. So that's what we'll do. Did Laura talk to you at all about the work session, the dates?
no, I just, from the last meeting, we decided we would discuss it
Okay.
today.
So are we meeting tomorrow then, or no?
We're meeting tomorrow.
We are, okay.
Yeah, but are we,
Is it?
well, would be the Wednesday after Labor Day. So
For
that
this
would be
group to
this
be-
group as a work session.
Next
Next
week.
week.
Next Wednesday.
Yeah. That would be the 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
So are people available, or?
I do, we talked about it, so I put it on my calendar, so.
I think so.
Otherwise.
I think so.
We could do the 6th or any other date that you think you might want to meet.
3rd is yes for me.
Third is
It's Wednesday night.
fine. Third, I mean, that's when it was supposed to be originally. right?
Originally, right.
And I really like the idea of having an entire meeting just devoted to this
Right.
subject, because it's gonna need a lot of
Oh,
discussion.
oh, oh, for
I-
sure, for sure.
I think we'll be perhaps meeting twice on it,
Yeah.
or maybe even 3 times, depending on how involved these discussions become.
So is next week talking about the
This,
individual?
right.
Okay.
So drive
So
by,
drive
have it
around,
by,
right,
and,
right.
and look at them and
Yep.
see what you think.
Okay. Yep.
And if
Yeah.
you have questions, you can look at the existing future land use map that she gave you, but you can also go to the township website and look at the zoning map, which tells you what it is today. And also there's a present land use map, which tells you what's actually there. So those are the 3
have to cross-reference
documents we
it.
put together
Yep.
to come up with the original list.
Do they have like the big ones here? Because I printed mine out, but they're just, I mean, you can't, you gotta get like a magnifying glass.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can get them printed in like 11 by 17.
Yeah. I guess I could try to do that at work too, though, to be honest.
No, we should, maybe you could ask Laura to have those larger maps at our next meeting and distribute them out.
Just
Because
easier
it
to see.
it is easier to
Yeah,
see,
yeah.
and we don't want them.
Otherwise, us nearsighted guys are gonna be like this.
Yeah,
Well, when it's too small, you need a magnifying glass.
yeah.
I think I have one of the older ones that's still current. But when I look on the website to make sure I have everything the latest, I can just blow it up. It's easier to see on the computer where you can just blow it right up.
But I was just thinking when I'm driving around, it might be nice to have
That's
it.
true.
No, I'll try tomorrow to print it on 11 by 17.
Yeah, if
I
you
should be
need-
able
If you
to.
need to, I can do that.
Yeah, but I'll try first.
Okay,
I mean,
Bob's your backup.
yeah.
Yeah,
but yeah. Okay.
okay.
I mean, that's just me. I
So,
prefer
Yeah,
a paper.
It's simple, I could go do it right now.
Well, we'll wait. Yeah, I don't want to.
I mean, I printed out on the little one. There's no reason why it shouldn't print out on the bigger one.
Yeah, it should fit fine.
Okay, all right.
So
I'll print them out.
are we set for September 3rd? Everybody can be here,
6:30 again. right?
6:30? Okay, then.
Yes.
Let Laura know, September 3rd, 6:30 here. Any commissioner comments?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
a question on this, on exercise 2. These 13 sites are the 13 sites that Laura and the subcommittee couldn't agree on or get
So we-
It's
unanimous?
the one we wanted your input.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where's the other ones? Like, weren't there like,
Yeah.
was
There's
this
20
it?
some.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes. Those were ones where a number of them were from the 2015 master plan that were recommended but never adopted for some reason.
Okay.
Some of them were from the 2021 master plan draft that was never adopted. And then there were a couple of others, but they were ones that we thought were very obvious what the answers would be. So we will need to review those with you just to make sure you're on board. But the ones that require the discussion and some serious thought
Right.
are these.
Yeah.
These are the more sticky ones, if you want to say, more complex.
There's supposed to be 13?
There's 13.
I thought somebody.
There's 21,
No, I think in the draft I did, there were 28, 27 or 28.
and we'll share those remainder
Okay.
with you, but this is the hard part.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other's more cleanup, like you're saying.
Yeah, it's more cleanup. There was
Most of
one-
those were ones that were recommended in prior studies, but for whatever reason, they were not adopted.
Oh,
They've been looked at in the past, but they
Kind of
never,
yeah,
incomplete work that wasn't finished.
sure.
Yeah.
But those,
Just to get a
yes,
list of them, yeah,
You
would
will
be-
have to look
okay.
at them, but I think we need to do these first.
I think
They're the
one
ones-
obvious one, wasn't there a little strip of land along a recreation area?
Yes, exactly.
That was that's
Yeah.
an example. Little strip of land next to recreation.
It was
That's
actually
kind of a
just-
no-brainer.
Just north of the one we went to last time, the summer school.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the
By
very,
the New Morning,
The one on Haggerty.
yeah. There's
by
a,
the soccer field.
yep,
Yeah.
it's the remaining part of the soccer field that was north of that site, north of the school. So it had been recommended to change the zoning,
But
and
it
for some
never was
reason it's
done.
never done.
So the township owns it effectively?
That piece of land is part of the soccer park, Lake Point.
Okay.
It's part of the
soccer.
park.
Okay, well, yeah, stuff like that.
I mean, it's,
thought you meant it
yeah,
was an
I mean, it's really
Yeah.
grimble, but you really need to clean it up,
Yeah,
so.
It's those kind of little,
That's fine.
yeah.
that has been discussed in the past, but for whatever this thing kept getting delayed, and so it's kind of a leftover.
I think there's a strip of no
Commissioners?
man's land between the bank and the apartments on North Territorial.
Oh, yeah, I've noticed
There's
that.
a part not ever cut, so it's like 20, 25 feet wide. It's kind
Start
of.
cutting it and you can take an adverse
I was
possession.
gonna think about that, to be honest.
Just think of all the neat things you
I
could do
could-
with that
I
25
could
foot
drive my riding mower over there, sure.
So here comes Laura, just in the nick of time. I think we're settled on September 3rd for our next work session, if that works for you. Okay?
I do have some additional master plan
Okay.
documents you can share with you if you have just a minute.
Yeah, we were just going over this a little bit, not in detail, but just explaining it.
Okay. I did make some copies of the future land use map too, just in case.
Talking about this.
Yeah, do you think we could get bigger?
Oh, a bigger one? Okay, yeah, we can work on that. Then the first exercise. This is an example from Canton. It's just to illustrate what I think we should be looking for in terms of layout.
Canton doesn't have any rules, do they?
No, they have rules.
Okay, so what I just passed out are pages, a couple pages from the Canton Township Master Plan. And the reason that I shared them with you is just to provide an example. I'm not implying that any of this language is right for Plymouth Township. But in the exercise 1 handout that you have, where it has the current future land use like statements and descriptions, you can see that it's pretty short, it's pretty limited, right? Which sometimes can be a good thing, right, to be succinct, but there's not much detail as to what this really looks like. So having maybe a clearer picture and talking about land uses, design, connectivity, like the Canton example, can help paint a better picture for the developer and the community as to what is expected and desired in those areas in the future.
Is this similar to the design standards for the Ann Arbor Road corridor that we looked at?
That's closer, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think when going through this exercise one and thinking about the different uses that you'd like to see in each district or future land use classification and what design and like character each of the future land use categories have, that's really important if we can articulate that. So I think just using the Canton example to kind of get you thinking in that mindset and brainstorming might be helpful. Other communities are doing this too. They're really putting a lot more emphasis on the future land use designations and describing what that looks like in the future and using graphics. I'm not saying these graphics would be appropriate for the township, but a lot can be said with a photo or, a render.
Picture speaks 1,000 words.
So the 4 pages that I just printed off as examples, there's 2 commercial districts, the community commercial and then the general commercial to kind of highlight the difference of what's regional and what's more local. And then with the industrial land uses, differentiating between the light industrial and the heavy industrial, the general industrial. So maybe that just provides a little bit of context. That's where I see the township's master plan needing to go in that direction, to be more specific.
Yeah, I read through this today. I didn't really get the difference between regional and local. It really wasn't. How do you describe the difference between those?
Typically, local is more neighborhood serving commercial. It's going to be smaller square, smaller buildings in terms of the square footage, maybe 5,000 or less, whereas regional commercial contains more of the drive-through uses, big box stores, chains.
Something people would travel from outside the community to come to, not like a Taco Bell.
A Taco Bell would be regional.
It's regional?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, the local commercial would be smaller scale shops.
Oh.
Picnic Basket is one.
Mm-hmm.
And over where, you remember Gino's Pizza on Ann Arbor Trail, near the Miller family?
Yeah.
That's also C1. That's local,
Okay.
Or the Coffee and Cuts place on Ann Arbor Trail.
Yeah.
Things that have a much smaller footprint, generate less traffic, and overall volume, are less intensive uses, don't have as many employees, that kind of thing.
Okay.
And for the people that live around there,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
like a nail salon,
But a nail salon would be regional because that draws from
it
outside the
would?
immediate
Oh.
area.
Oh, all right, well, yeah, then local is pretty specific then.
My wife drives to Farmington Hills
Oh.
to get her nails done.
Okay, well, that's a bad example.
And I get mine done in Livonia.
Okay.
Okay. And then I understand there were some questions about the Meyer development, so I just quickly printed off.
Yeah, just when we were looking at the car wash, how does that fit in with, like next door? We have no idea what next door looks like.
Yeah, there's just 2 copies there if you wanted to kind of briefly look at.
Oh,
And that was a result of the consent judgment.
gray, I guess, beige or,
Looks like a Meyer.
yeah, just generic
Well,
Meyer.
I was more concerned about the color. Yeah, it's something, well, they have a big white sign where it says Myers.
They do.
Yeah. Meyer, no.
Meyer, I know, no S.
No S.
But I think that's an anomaly, right? Compared to the other buildings that the Planning Commission has reviewed, so, just for some context.
But, you can see the white, CVS always wanted a white background because they like the red color pop out.
Mm-hmm.
Any comments on
But,
what you've
yeah,
seen?
I mean, I could see how the car wash wouldn't want to match this, because then it looks
No,
like
no, we're
Meyer.
not suggesting that. We're
Yeah.
just looking how does it flow with the rest of
Yeah,
that corridor?
The picture I saw, it was really,
pretty white.
it was really brilliant. white.
Yeah, no, it's done on
So,
purpose to
you
stand
know,
out.
this is
I know.
provided by somebody who had written this in opposition to the one on Ann Arbor Road, so, you know, maybe they played with their computer and tweaked the colors, you never know. But just looking at the picture, it really stood out to me as being a real beacon and really something that I don't think was in the context of the other type of developments along Ann Arbor Road. This is a slightly different scenario, but again, let's just take a look at it.
That's
okay?
fine. He
Yeah.
said there's thousands of brick colors, so yeah, I'm sure they have a slightly less.
We've always
white.
leaned toward more earthy tones, subtle tones, than particularly
The
white.
grays were a pretty good color match, right? From a not much contrast. The white was a stark contrast, so that was a great catch and find.
I mean, he could still have some white somewhere, maybe just not the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean,
Accent.
that's what they have here.
Yeah, kind of like that, yeah. Yeah.
Even if you look at the CVS sign here, the CVS on this corner, the background is not quite white. It's subtle, because CVS does want white background.
Okay.
No, it sounded like they're open to changing it.
Anything else from the commission, or Laura, Liz? We're all set? Okay.
No, we just have to drive around this weekend.
All right. So is there a motion to adjourn the meeting at 8:21?
Mr. Chair, I move we adjourn at 8:21 PM.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Boyd and supported by Commissioner Pop to adjourn at 8:21. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Adjourned.